All right, today we're going over some of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to training shoulders, and there's a lot of them, so let's get after it. Oh no, another shoulder video. Where did I leave those? So first things first, since a lot of people asked, I'm definitely making a science-based series, but I get my facts and figures in order because the last thing I want to have happen is somebody make a reaction video that calls me out for misquoting the exact number of anal fissures that happen per day or makes me look like a fool because I didn't do my clitoral research. But the reason I want to make this video is because it must have been shoulder day at the gym and I saw some horrible form. And anybody's ever done this before knows you can't just walk up and nicely say, hey, your form makes me nauseous. Because for some reason, people lose their shit. And especially as a man trying to help out a woman, they think you're creeping on them. I've even prefaced by saying, hey, I'm married. I'm not trying to hit on you. I just want to let you know that your form, pretty shitty. But even that hasn't gone over so well. So I'm going to reach into my 7th grade playbook and start giving mixtapes to everybody. You know how when a girl likes you, she'd fill a CD full of her favorite songs? I'm going to do that. But instead of filling it full of Aaliyah songs, I'm going to put this video on there, give it to them and say, hey, I made this because of you. All right, let's start out by talking about pressing movements. Now, it doesn't matter if somebody's using light or heavy weight. More often than not, you'll see the same form. They come down, they stop about halfway, and they drive it back up. Now, you'd think since I'm the king of partial movements, I'd be into this, but I think they're missing the most important part of the movement. To me, the most important thing to focus on is driving that stretch as deep as possible in those anterior delts and the initial part of the contraction. That's going to ensure that the primary focus are those delts. If you're coming down halfway, stopping and driving it up, yeah, you can get those shoulders to fail, but when they do, those triceps are going to jump in and help out. A good sign this is happening is that if you ever got done with shoulder day and realized, holy crap, my arms are blown up, that's a good indication you just screwed up. Instead, if you focus on the bottom of the movement, yeah, you're going to end the set with really short range of motion, but it doesn't matter because the only thing that's working are those anterior delts, and you can push them to complete failure. And just so we're clear, I'm not saying don't do full range of motion. You absolutely should. But when you start to fail, don't force out reps that look like you've been at the club and you just took enough ecstasy to kill a small horse and you're continually trying to lock out the elbow, because it's a lot more impactful to focus on getting as deep a stretch as possible and only contracting as high as that anterior delt will let you. Another frequent offender today had to do with side laterals. Now, a lot of things can go wrong with these. Too much bend in the elbow. I've even seen people flex their forearms for some weird reason, but the most offensive and common thing today was that jolt forward with their head. Makes you want to go up to them and say, psst, where the f*** you going? Now, I'm not 100% certain on this, but I assume that if you see somebody doing this, you're in your legal right to be able to tackle them and drag them to a bench like this, as long as you yell out citizen's arrest first. So feel free. And even though your traps are really engaging as you're tilting that head forward, they're not actually causing it. That's more of a learned behavior. So you can easily fix that by sitting against the bench, pinning that head back, keeping that form nice and tight, and retraining yourself how not to screw them up. And the last thing isn't so obvious until you take a step back and realize that most people train shoulders the same exact way. They'd pick one exercise for anterior delts, one for lateral head, and then one for posterior delts. They do 4 sets of each, and that's their day, which absolutely works. But if you watch people close enough, you realize it takes them 2 sets to find the damn weight, so they really only get 2 working sets in. So why not instead just commit to doing less sets and more exercises? So instead, do 2 exercises for each head of the delt and commit to doing 2 sets of each. That way you can't half-ass it. You only have 2 sets. So you got to go all out for those 2 sets. Otherwise, you're screwed. So if you got a chance to check out the program, I'll link that below. It's $1 a video. It's $20. If you can't justify that, I can't help you. And if you haven't got a chance to, watch these 2 videos next. Most importantly, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.